listing things that they're grateful for. And in doing this, they come to the realization that material things aren't what bring happiness and joy, although they're nice momentarily. That's not what is most important in life.
Stay connected to gratitude. Hit the follow button right now and join thousands of listeners tuning in each week. We're the Gratitude Seekers. Come join us. Hi, Gratitude Seeker. Welcome to a new episode of the Gratitude Podcast. Today, with us, we have the author of Thankful Frankie. Her name is Kathleen Kruger, and she has written a beautiful book for children, and not only for children, actually, um, to help them be inspired to be grateful more often. And I love the fact that she thought about this idea and that she actually put in the effort to put it together and to offer it to the world. Kathleen, welcome to the Gratitude Podcast.
Thanks so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
My pleasure. So, tell us a little bit about you first. Who you are, what you're doing, and next we will be getting into how the book was born, what led you to gratitude, and afterwards to having this idea. So, but at first, let's get to know each other.
Great. So I live currently in Los Angeles, California, in the United States. I've been here about 3 years and have really started creating a new lifestyle for myself. I have lots of hobbies, but I teach yoga and I play music, and I am writing or have written my first children's book, which I'm very excited about. So a lot of my energy goes into the book and then connecting with people as much as I'm able to.
Wonderful, wonderful. So you're an artist, you're a creative, right?
Yes.
That's wonderful. I think the world needs people like you because the things that we enjoy in the world, many of them are created by people that actually make this effort because it's not really easy all the time
Yes.
to do something creative because it's not like a normal job where you get paid for just doing the work. When
Right.
you're creative, you never know. Sometimes you might be very inspired, right? Or at times you might just not find any good ideas.
Yes. And thank you for saying that, especially now in the United States and California. We're having huge fires just a few miles away from where I live.
Wow.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of gun violence too, and all of that negativity. Sometimes it's really hard to be creative and put art out into the world, but I think it's important to create that lightness for an outlet for people.
Exactly, exactly. And I believe that when we are focused on these things that have to do with our survival, it's indeed harder for us to think of creative things, think of creating beauty in the world, because we have to think about how we will survive. And this is how our brain works. And it's beautiful that you are able to go from that survival mode, survival instinct, to actually creating something. And in my experience, gratitude has been helpful to get to that point. Can you tell us a little bit about how you found gratitude, how you discovered it, and how it helped you?
Yes, I would love to. So I moved to Los Angeles 2.5 years ago, and at that point, I was living in Chicago. I'm from Chicago, Illinois, originally. I was teaching school. I was an educator for about 8 years. and I was really unhappy. I loved the kids and I loved connecting with students, but something was missing, and I had to make a huge decision to leave my job after years of experience and education and time and energy going into that career. I ultimately made the decision to leave and move to Los Angeles, start creating a new life for myself. And without a solid foundation, it caused a lot of anxiety. And I noticed, falling asleep at night, my mind would be racing. How am I going to do this? Will I be successful in this? And so many questions were unanswered. And I found I had read a book. I can't even remember the title of the book right now, unfortunately, but it was suggesting a habit of gratitude and listing each night, either writing it down or listing it in your mind, 5 to 10 things you're grateful for. And I started doing this each night, and I noticed when I woke up in the morning that I did feel a little better, that my anxiety had lowered, and that I was able to approach the day with more of a positive outlook. So that experience has been extremely helpful for me. And in creating Thankful Frankie, I had the thought that I had wished I had started this habit when I was younger, because so many wonderful things come from it. There are so many benefits in being grateful. And I thought this would be a wonderful message to get to children, and what better way to do it than in the form of a children's book?
Hmm, that's wonderful. That's a wonderful idea. And I totally resonate with it because it's why I ask one of the questions in that I usually ask on the gratitude podcast. What would you tell your younger self? And it's somehow a message for the younger people listening. Um, what they would have loved, like the guests would have loved their younger self to know about gratitude. And I think it's something wonderful that you're doing with the book. And I think it's great for the children, but it's also great for the parents as well, because we tend to forget sometimes about gratitude and about appreciating what the little things in our life that make it so beautiful.
I
Yeah,
absolutely agree. And as I was writing the book, I came to the realization that although children will absolutely benefit from reading Thankful Frankie, a lot of the adults who read it as well will form this habit and see the benefits in addition to the kids.
exactly. Because in my experience and in my studies with regarding how we humans work, um, we when we are children, we model our parents or the people that are closest to us, and we do it as adults as well. But when we are children, it's even stronger. So if the parents are choosing to live with more gratitude, the children will copy them sooner or later, and they will have that example that this is how you do it. And like in the leadership area, it's something like lead by example. Yeah.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
that's a really good way of approaching this. So how did you think of going to um, how do you think that the children will benefit from reading Thankful Frankie?
So the plot line of Thankful Frankie loves toys and material things. So Frankie collects blocks, planes, dolls, any toys they can get their hands on, they'll collect and put it in a giant pack. And Frankie loses the pack. They leave it at the park, and they're very upset when they no longer have their toys. And so Frankie's parents suggest listing things that they're grateful for. And in doing this, they come to the realization that material things aren't what bring happiness and joy, although they're nice momentarily. That's not what is most important in life. And I think sending this message to children is so important, especially today, given the state of our earth, of Mother Nature, the excess amount of plastic and trash that's thrown away on a regular basis. That in itself will be very beneficial because children, as they turn into adults, will be less focused on buying material goods that they may not need. But also from a mental and emotional standpoint, there's so much comparison that goes on when we live our lives. I have this, they don't have this, or this person has, this person makes this much money, but I only make this amount of money. And at least in the United States, so much of a person's success is related to how much money they make and the material things they own. So if children read this book and take away the message that material things, although they occasionally can be nice, that's not what you need in life to be successful or to feel productive or successful in your own work.
Americans spend an average of 90% of their time indoors and take about 20,000 breaths a day. According to the EPA, indoor air is 2 to 5 times more polluted than outdoor air, and in some cases up to 100 times more polluted. Data shows that air pollution is responsible for nearly 7 million premature deaths globally. We are fortunate enough to live outside the city with easy access to it and a green meadow view outside the window. The not so fortunate part is that when we open the windows, we can hear all the constant traffic close to us and the air quality isn't the best. Aside from that, our neighbors have a passion for using all kinds of fossil fuel motors to build or cut grass. I love doing breath work. I'm sure you do too. And it's in those moments when you breathe deeply that you become aware of the quality of the air you breathe and how important it actually is. So what's the solution? Introducing an air purifier that captured the attention of established media outlets such as CNN, Money, ABC, and more. Air Doctor. Air Doctor filters out 99.99% of dangerous contaminants and allergens such as pollen, pet dander, dust mite, mold, and even bacteria and viruses, so your lungs don't have to. All Air Doctor purifiers also feature whisper jet fans, 30% quieter than ordinary air purifiers. Air Doctor also comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so if you don't love it, just send it back for a refund minus shipping. Head to airdoctorpro.com and use promo code GRATITUDE, and depending on the model, you'll receive up to 39% off or up to $300 off. Exclusive to podcast customers, you will also receive a free 3-year warranty on any unit, which is an additional $84 value. Lock this special offer by going to airdoctorpro.com and use promo code GRATITUDE. Totally. I think this is a very important part of life, and many people, after achieving the success that people deem as being success, realize that even though they're there, they have everything on the outside, they're not happy, they're not fulfilled. And I believe that success is like from two perspectives. It's the outer success that other people see, and there's the inner success that we can cultivate each day by habits like gratitude. And I think the kind of inner success that we can enjoy, the kind of fulfillment that we can enjoy, it's harder to be seen, and that's why it's not as popular as, I don't know, owning a private jet. But it's so much more fulfilling each and every day than actually going for having these kinds of big objects that other people can see and everything. But
Yes.
uh, how did your work with the children inspire Thankful Frankie? Like, did you think about, for instance, particular children that you had in your classes, or how did that influence Thankful Frankie?
When I started teaching, I was teaching 11 to 13-year-olds. I did that for
Hmm.
about 5 years. And then I finished at the older levels, so 13 to 19. And then I actually was asked to come back to teaching for a few months at the younger level, about 5 to 7 years old. And that was new to me. I was always afraid of little kids because I didn't know how to connect with them. I had
Hmm.
never taught younger children before. But I am so grateful for that experience. Seeing the energy that these kids have was truly so beautiful. Their natural love for life and ability to see people for who they are, regardless of their outside circumstances,
Hmm.
was a really lovely learning lesson for myself. And they were so much fun. They loved learning. They loved being in the classroom. They were they were ready to have any experience you were willing to give them. And I feel like Thankful Frankie could be really fun for a lot of children to read, but then also to connect with their parents or the adult or the person who is reading them the story.
That's wonderful. By the way, do you have like a particular age that Thankful Frankie is best for, or who do you recommend it for too?
So the age of this children's book is about 3 to 5 years old, but I know many families who read to much younger children as an activity because they're still absorbing a lot of the language and the idea and message behind the book. So really any age until 5, and then ideally the habit will transcend through life as they get older.
Wow, that'd be wonderful. And I think that this part of education is so important. Like um, many parents, many people think that the most important thing to prepare your child for is this kind of external success. If you earn good grades, you go to a good high school, you go to a good college, and afterwards you get a good job and everything. But I think, and we invest a lot of time and money and energy into these activities. But I think these kinds of soft skills, let's say, or um, I have another word for them. It's life skills. Yeah, actually, life skills
Mhm.
like gratitude is. It's at least as important, if not even more important than these skills, because many people get to and I've talked with many of them went to I don't know, Harvard or like the best places in the world, and they didn't feel fulfilled, they didn't feel happy even though they were at the top of their game, and even though they were probably making their parents proud, they were empty inside. They didn't know how to be happy, they didn't know how to be grateful. And I think this kind of education is very, very important.
Yes, and there are many studies that talk about financial income, and after a certain amount of money, it does not increase your happiness. So, although given the world that we live in, financial stability can provide comfort, over a certain amount of money isn't going to make you feel any better or happier or more fulfilled.
I totally agree, and I've experienced this. And I if you can buy as many things as you want, if you don't know how to feel happy, how to enjoy life, how to um, see the beautiful things in your life, your brain is just made this way. Like it's made to think of the possible problems or the possible threats, and if we don't do anything about it, it's just going to continue like that. It's going to think about all of the bad things that can happen, all the bad things that did happen in a certain day or week or month. And it's sad because this is how we live our life, right?
Yes.
And it's really really a pity. But how did gratitude change your perspective on life in general? Like after practicing for a while, how did you see life differently?
So in my own personal experience, I put so much importance on productivity, and I'm still working with this, but I really struggled with being fully present because there was always something that I could be working on. There was always something I could be finishing or completing.
I know.
And practicing gratitude really allowed me to take a step back and think, okay, if my family and my friends are one of the most important things in my life, then why would I not spend time with them in a meaningful way? And if I'm constantly distracted by what I need to do or what I should be doing or what I could be doing with my time, then I'm not actually having a meaningful experience with the people who are most important to me. So it's allowed me to stay more present in life. And then it's also allowed me to take more risks, which I am so thankful for because it's so easy to stay stuck in a career or a situation where you are making money, or the outside world sees you as successful, but you are unhappy. So recognizing even if I step away from this job, I still have the support from my family and my friends. I still have a roof over my head. Sure, my lifestyle might change. I might not be able to buy the latest technology or go out to fancy restaurants all the time, but I still have a lot that makes me happy. And if I can give up some of those material things, I can start to create a life that is really important to me and one that aligns with how I want to live in this world.
Americans spend an average of 90% of their time indoors and take about 20,000 breaths a day. According to the EPA, indoor air is 2 to 5 times more polluted than outdoor air, and in some cases up to 100 times more polluted. Data shows that air pollution is responsible for nearly 7 million premature deaths globally. We are fortunate enough to live outside the city with easy access to it and a green meadow view outside the window. The not so fortunate part is that when we open the windows, we can hear all the constant traffic close to us and the air quality isn't the best. Aside from that, our neighbors have a passion for using all kinds of fossil fuel motors to build or cut grass. I love doing breath work. I'm sure you do too. And it's in those moments when you breathe deeply that you become aware of the quality of the air you breathe and how important it actually is. So what's the solution? Introducing an air purifier that captured the attention of established media outlets such as CNN, Money, ABC, and more. Air Doctor. Air Doctor filters out 99.99% of dangerous contaminants and allergens such as pollen, pet dander, dust mite, mold, and even bacteria and viruses, so your lungs don't have to. All Air Doctor purifiers also feature whisper jet fans, 30% quieter than ordinary air purifiers. Air Doctor also comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so if you don't love it, just send it back for a refund minus shipping. Head to airdoctorpro.com and use promo code GRATITUDE, and depending on the model, you'll receive up to 39% off or up to $300 off. Exclusive to podcast customers, you will also receive a free 3-year warranty on any unit, which is an additional $84 value. Log the special offer by going to airDoctorPro.com and use promo code gratitude. Exactly. That's so powerful, and that's so important for us to see, and I can totally relate with your experience, because life, you see yourself doing this maybe this month, and the next month, this year, and the next year, and you start thinking, okay, why am I living? What's the reason? Why am I just here to work or to do things or to be constantly in a state of um, action of trying to be as productive as possible? Because we have the emotional needs also. We feel the need to connect with people, to be with them, to be present, to enjoy conversations and to enjoy laughs together and everything. And that's indeed a very important part of everything that has to do with life.
Yes. So my favorite part about the book, aside from the illustrations, the artists, there's two of them who created the illustrations, and the images are wonderful. So aside from the illustrations, my favorite part about of the book is the last few pages. There are actual questions and prompts or journal questions that adults and kids can answer together, because the concept of gratitude can be challenging for young kids. At that phase in their life, they're very self-centered because they're learning about themselves and how they interact with the world. So these questions can be extremely beneficial just to get children thinking about what it means to be grateful or thankful. So, for example, name something that makes you happy. The readers can talk about things that make them smile, or a family member they're thankful for. What's your favorite part about nature? So, those questions are an instant way to create meaningful conversations about gratitude, to get children thinking about what it means to be grateful. And then also, it gives the readers the ability to connect with one another in a way that's really special. Um, Oftentimes, we don't have these conversations with younger children. And so these questions provide the resource for having those conversations and making that connection.
That's so amazing, because these conversations are actually so. I love the fact that it's not thought of as something rather passive, but something active that leads to a conversation that can lead to a beautiful and positive habit. And I think that's amazing.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that aspect of the book. So it's not just a children's book and that you're reading the story and then you put the book away, but you're actually taking time to discuss and have a conversation.
For those of you that are choosing to support this project and also get the book, I'm really curious how this will improve your relationship with gratitude with your children, and what impact it has on you. So make sure you let me know. But getting back to Kathleen, thank you so much for being here with us. Let us know where you can be found, and I will also put the link in the description.
The best way to connect with us right now is either on Facebook or Instagram
Mhm.
at Thankful Frankie. And Frankie is Frankie.
Okay, perfect. So that's a really simple and easy way to connect. I will also put the link, like I was saying, and yeah, I think it would be something really beautiful to do in this period, and I'm really looking forward to seeing this project a reality.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It was my pleasure.
Hey, Gratitude Seeker, thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this interview. I really appreciate it. And If you could think of one person that would also benefit from it, share it with them. It might actually be the inspiration that they need to make their day or maybe even their life much better. Thank you so much once again. This has been Georgian Benta. Don't forget to keep seeking and spreading gratitude.
If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.